you to go, whether you sell the property or you don't. Um, with that in mind, I mean, was your original plan? I know you bought this property 20 years ago, Femi. I mean, were your plans to originally build on it, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I did want to build on it, and then we found another parcel, and then she wanted to be closer to her mom, and happy wife, happy life. So I definitely wanted to honor that, and so we didn't end up doing anything with it. So
Absolutely. Happy wife, happy life is what I live by. So I feel like you got the right slogan there. I'll tell you that. Um, all right.
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like, Femi, that you pretty much had your mind made up about selling, considering what you just mentioned. I mean, about how long have you been thinking about,
Well,
letting the property go?
Jim, I'm actually just curious here, man. I know you're asking me these questions, and that's fine. Who are you? I don't know who you are. I'm just trying to figure out why are you asking me all these questions. It seems like you're asking me definitely some more personal questions here. So just kind of want to figure out where that's coming from. I don't know you.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the flip side, Femi, I guess unfortunately I don't know you either. I'd love to, but unfortunately I don't. The reason for my questions is I'm just trying to learn a bit more about the property. As I mentioned to you, I buy quite a bit of land through my company in the area. I'm just trying to learn a bit more about you, about the property, and seeing if and how we can go ahead and come to terms on a potential agreement here. So that's why I ask these questions. I don't mean to go ahead and take up too much time or ask questions that aren't needed. I just want to go ahead and ask questions that can be of use. This way, we can go ahead and either come to a conclusion on potentially moving forward, one way, or if we can't, no problem at all. I mean, is that fair?
I mean, it sounds pretty fair. I mean, are you guys actually buying a lot of land, or I mean, what are you guys wholesalers? I just, if I'm going to work with someone at all, I just need to make sure that I'm not being scammed.
Absolutely. And being scammed, unfortunately, is something that is prevalent in today's world. But with that being said, I mean, you feel free to go ahead and look up our website, americafirstbuyers.com. We're a registered LLC in the state of South Carolina. There is nothing about a scam in our interaction. We've worked with many title companies in the area. I'd be happy to provide you with a couple: Main Street Title, Down Street Title, Up Street Title. I mean, these are companies, if you're in the area, you're definitely heard of. So I get where you're coming from, Femi. Just want to make one thing clear. I'm not here to scam anyone. I'm just trying to go ahead and see if we can buy the property or not. And once again, if we can't, there's no stress here. I just want to go ahead and see if we can or we can't. Does that make sense?
It does. Pause. And always on top of that, and just so you know, we can't even take legal ownership of a property until money's been wired to you first.
Got it.
All right, go for it.
All right. You said we can keep going?
Yeah, continue.
All right. So Femi, I know you mentioned that you and your wife are looking to sell this parcel. So I'm assuming you guys are both on the same page about selling it?
Yeah, we have talked about it. I definitely would want to include her in on this decision before I did anything, but we've definitely talked about it. I've ran it by her, and yeah.
I can totally respect that. Having a wife myself, I mean, I know these decisions obviously have to be taken very seriously. And I think having your spouse on board, one way or the other, is something that is very important.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Femi. I mean, would it be possible if she could go ahead and jump on this call as well? I'd love to have a discussion with her as well and potentially see what we can do here.
Yeah, I mean, I can get her on the call. I'll put you on speaker. How about that? And I'll have her listen.
Sounds great. And if you don't mind me asking, what was her name?
Jessica.
Gotcha.
Actually, I'm Femi. So Jasmine. Her name is
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Yeah.
No worries. You almost got in trouble there.
I did.
I got you. And then I would go ahead and I would, if I was
Exactly. Yeah.
and then I'd ask
But
hello and all that stuff, right?
yeah, so
Fine. I would do that.
when you're doing this, think about all potential situations that could happen when you ask that question. So either she's right there, either she's not there right now. She could give him a call, or he can give her a call. But they could also say, yeah, I've talked to her about it. Yeah, we're all good. No, I haven't talked to her about it. okay, would that be a conversation? And then if like, nah, like, it's okay, whatever. If they don't handle that well, then we go into the next questioning of how do you think she would feel if you did sell the property? Because then that would be like, he has to answer that with, she would either feel she wouldn't want me to do it or she would, and we've already talked about it, right? So then excuse me, you're completely removing the wife objection with that. Okay.
Mm,
But yeah, let's resume because I kind of want to get through all of it.
sure. So Femi, Jasmine, I was just wondering, have you guys received any other offers for this property?
Oh yeah, we receive offers all the time. I mean, every day. So mail. That's why, like, I'm having this conversation with you. But a lot of these guys, sometimes they don't call me back. Sometimes, the more I get these letters and texts, the less I take these kind of companies seriously. If I'm being honest with you.
I understand. I mean, look, taking up your time without anything in return is something I would be frustrated too. I get where you're coming from. Once again, that's not what I'm going to be able to, or what I'm going to do here. But if you don't mind me asking, I know you're getting about a call a day that you mentioned. I mean, why haven't you taken any of the offers that you've gotten?
Not exactly the price that I'm looking for, and not exactly legit. I mean, I just don't really. It's more about like I'm not super sure you guys are legit. I do want to maybe. I mean, I definitely we want to sell it. Because we definitely want to sell it. I've been talking to her about going to Europe for a few years now, and um, I'm getting ready to retire. She's already retired, and it's time to travel a bit. But I just you guys aren't legit. I don't know if you guys are legit. I don't know the kind of companies that you guys are, and that's really my biggest drawback.
I understand, Femi. Look, I know we got on the phone about 10 minutes ago, and I hope that each minute that passes by, I'm able to earn a bit more of your trust. I mean, I'm sure we'll get there at some point, but once again, we're a company that we do good by people because we know they do good by us. So just want to make that clear. There's nothing here that there's any ill intentions about. But Femi, it sounds like the biggest reason as to why you didn't take any of the other offers is price. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't really gotten offers. I've gotten offers at around, you know, 34, 35 for context. Market value is 100, just for context. Um, so yeah, you know, I haven't really gotten offers that I've been looking for.
Understood. I get you. Okay. So essentially, price is a pretty big deal to you here.
I mean, isn't price a big deal to all of us?
It is. Yeah. I just figured I'd go ahead and just kind of iron down that was the reason why you hadn't sold the property before. But I think we're on the same page. I mean, when you do sell this property, I mean, once again, whether to me or to someone else, are you planning on buying another property with the funds that you collect?
Well, no. I mean, I told you if I was to sell it, I would take the money and go travel with my wife. That's what I would do.
Gotcha. Okay. So you would basically celebrate by traveling. I
Yep.
got you.
Yeah.
Good. And that's something I'd love to do as well. Maybe we can reverse roles when that time comes. All right. So Femi, Jasmine, I mean, if we were to reach an agreement today, I mean, would anyone else need to sign off before we can move forward?
No, it's just us. Our kids are grown. They're doing their thing, and yeah, no, it's just us here. So that would be it.
Totally understand. Okay. And if we were to reach an agreement today, would anything prevent you from selling the property in the next 90 or so days?
No, I mean, no. I mean, time isn't really a super big hurry to us. I mean, like I said, I do want to go to Europe this summer, but I mean, time's not really the biggest thing. We could always just go later. So, that's really my biggest motivation right now is taking her to Europe. So,
Absolutely. It's great motivation. I'll put it that way. So Femi, this is what I'll say here, and Jasmine as well. We'd love to hear your opinion. I'm seeing that investors in the area, they're typically paying, for a 40-acre property like this. I mean, they're typically paying in between, 45 and $50,000 for properties like these. I mean, what would you say to one of those investors?
I mean, yeah. I mean that's something that I could see work. I definitely want to be closer to the 50 range. Definitely want to be closer to the 50 range, but I could see that.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Sorry, I see the lead manager part. No, I gotta skip that part.
No worries.
Maybe we're not going over mail. Um, so I mean, it does look like our offer is closer to that 50,000 number. What do you think about that?
Well, what is the actual offer? I mean, you're saying it's closer to, but you know, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, we're essentially right at $50,000 in terms of that being our number here.
So then go. If I could do $50,000, would that be something that would work for you? Yes. No.
That makes
Maybe
sense
so.
because once they say yes, then you kind of got them.
Exactly. Okay. Great. Well, we can. I can send you that contract right now. Does that sound good? And then start that. And so while you're doing this, already have and always think about how you're gonna process this out in the future, right? So as you're doing that, have the contract ready, and then just replace it. Put the number in there and send it over, and then walk them through it.
Gotcha. Is that what I should do now, or?
No. I know, because yeah, but yeah, no. I'm just telling you, just have this in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. Look, 50 would actually work. Like I said, I do want to. I do want to go to Europe and do that. So yeah, 50 would probably work.
Great. Well, we can go ahead and do family adjustments. We
But
can
let
get
me
them
ask you
done.
this, Jim. I'm just curious to know. What you're saying 50, but it makes me think. What would you really give me? Like, what's the most you give me for a property like this? Like, if I was to go on the market or talk to some realtors or some brokers, or what would you, could you do 60, 65?
It's a great question. And if I was you, family, I'd probably go a bit higher. I'd probably ask for 80, 90. You might as well, right? What I will say to you is this. We buy quite a bit of land in the area, and quite a lot over the past few years as well. And whenever we buy land, we're typically in the ballpark of, we're paying in between 1 to 1.2 thousand an acre. And that's just what we've seen off of comparables, what we've seen out of our own personal experience. So with that being said, that's how we have gotten to this 50,000 number. In terms of going above that number, that's quite honestly not something that is possible. And that's just because of the fact that we're offering you the ability to liquidate a very illiquid asset at an extremely high rate. Femi, could you potentially get 55,000 on the market? Sure. Maybe you can list this property and get 55,000 for it. At the end of the day, Femi, that's not taking into account the realtor fees you're gonna have to go ahead and pay. But the title fees, transfer tax, closing costs. After all that's said and done, you're gonna likely end up with about 50,000. So the question I'll pose to you then is this: would you rather prefer to go ahead and have a seamless, simple transaction to where you're netting $50,000, or sell this property on market for 55, or even at your number 60,000, and get the same number in your pocket at the end of the day?
Well, that's a good question. Okay, pause. That was really good. One thing I would add on top of that is, would you rather get that 50,000 and take your wife to Europe? Right? Because then we're resorting back to his pain and the solution that we're providing. So would you rather get that 50,000 to take your wife to Europe for those couple of months that you're talking about? Or would you rather list it and wait 6, 7 months? And that'll really get them like, okay, yeah, I'll do the 50. Let's go.
Gotcha. And that's a great tidbit. Just keep using the pain against them.
Exactly. All right, go for it. That's me. You know what, Jim? You bring up a good point, man. I think the 50 will work. I think the 50 will work. So let's What's the process? What do we need to do? I'm all in. I'm ready to go.
Sounds great. We can go ahead and get this done, Femi, right now. Would you be able to go ahead and pull up your computer and go over that contract?
Yep.
Alrighty. And what would be, Femi, your best email to go ahead and send that to while we're here on the phone?
Send it to femi.femi@gmail.com.
Sure, no problem. What I'm going to do, Femi, is this. Give me about 45 seconds. I'm going to input the parcel ID as well as the purchase price, and I'm going to go ahead and get this over to you. The email is going to be coming from DocuSign. That's going to be the platform it's coming from. Do you see it in your inbox?
Yep. I see it right here. So I just click this and then that's it. Are you going to sign this first?
Well, I mean, if you ask that question, it's a great question. What I will say is typically the sellers sign this agreement first. As you can see at the top on the left-hand corner under buyer, it says America First Buyers. So either myself or one of my partners will go ahead and sign that on our end. Typically, the seller does go ahead and sign first. It's just something that, I mean, I'm sure you're pretty used to these transactions, something that is quite common.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Oh yeah, that's fair. I'm just asking. I just want to make sure you guys are signing it. And then, I mean, what title company are you going with? Are they pretty legit? Do you have their number, or what happens with that?
Yeah, that's